McLaren started 2023 in disaster. Remember, they were P17 and P19 in Bahrain. But now, in 2025, they're not just winning, they're dominating. Most fans think it's just the car or that their drivers finally got lucky. But what if McLaren's dominance isn't just impressive, but actually a warning sign? Not just for their rivals, but for Formula 1 as a whole. In this video, we'll break down why McLaren's rise isn't just good news. It's a shift that could change the sport. And we will show you exactly how they got there, step by step. And yes, there's solid proof, real data, real behind the scenes shifts, and something no one is talking about. To understand how McLaren became unstoppable, we have to start with the changes of the track. Back in 2023, McLaren finally opened their own wind tunnel at the McLaren Technology Center. Before that, they were testing aerodynamics using Toyota's facilities in Germany, which added delays and limited development. By 2024, they had linked the new wind tunnel with their simulator and data systems. And now, in 2025, the connection between the simulator, wind tunnel, and design team is complete. This means faster testing, faster upgrades, more accurate data, and most importantly, more original ideas. McLaren is no longer copying other teams. They are becoming the ones others now follow. Some of their 2025 sidepod and cooling designs have even started showing up in Alpine and Aston Martin updates. Another important change is in leadership. Several key engineers from Red Bull and Mercedes joined McLaren in late 2023. These people didn't immediately transform the team, but their influence is now clear in the 2025 car. This new tech culture is different. It's not just about making a fast car, it's about building a smarter process, and that's exactly what they've done. But it's not just the team and tools. The drivers are playing a major role too. Usually in Formula 1, one driver becomes the clear number one. The second driver supports the team but isn't expected to fight for wins. In 2025, McLaren doesn't have that problem. Lando Norris and Piastri are both delivering top performances, and they're pushing each other harder than ever. Their styles are very different. Piastri is calm, consistent, and clean under pressure. Norris is aggressive, explosive in the second half of races, and fearless on the edge. This creates real competition between them. And yes, sometimes it leads to contact, but that's part of what makes McLaren unique in 2025. They've created a team where both drivers are allowed to race, to take risks, and to fight for position, even if it gets messy. It's not always perfect, but it shows the team trusts them to handle it. McLaren hasn't tried to control the rivalry too much. Instead, they focused on keeping the bigger picture in view: points, progress, and pushing the car to its limit. The result? Two drivers growing fast, by testing each other every weekend. This kind of intense rivalry could easily break a team, but at McLaren, it's being used as a strength. Because both drivers are fighting hard, the team has to stay flexible. Strategies aren't locked in before the race. They shift depending on pace, conditions, and who's ahead on the day. The dynamic approach has helped McLaren score big points in 2025, even when things get unpredictable. But it's not just about one driver supporting the other. It's about both drivers pushing the team forward in their own way. And while that's a big reason for McLaren's success, there's something else behind the scenes that's giving them an even bigger edge. And it's not happening on the track. While most fans focus on what happens on race day, some of McLaren's biggest advantages are happening behind the scenes. Since late 2024, McLaren has been using advanced systems to help with race strategy. They partnered with a British data science company that specializes in real-time analytics. This isn't just basic software, it's advanced machine learning that updates and adapts as the race develops. In 2025, this system now helps the team decide when to pit, how much tire wear to expect, and even how to react to weather or safety cars. It's like having a second strategy team, but one that doesn't make human mistakes. A great example was at the Imola Grand Prix this season. The system predicted an undercut window for Piastri on lap 21. He followed the suggestion and came out 0.3 seconds ahead of both Ferraris, just as the model predicted. This kind of precision gives McLaren a huge advantage. While other teams still argue on the pit wall, McLaren is trusting their data. and it's working. And the scary part? Smaller teams can't afford this kind of system, which means the gap will only grow if nothing changes. Still, even with all this tech, there's one more reason for McLaren's big leap in 2025, and it's hiding in the regulations. Every few years, a smart team finds something in the rules that no one else notices. In 2025, McLaren may have done just that, in a part of the car many fans ignore: the floor. After Red Bull's flexi-wing issues in 2023 were banned, the FIA tightened most of the era regulations. But McLaren found a small grey area in the rules about floor stiffness, especially around the rear diffuser. At the Monaco Grand Prix, there were quiet talks in the paddock. Some teams believed McLaren's floor flexed slightly under certain pressures, but not enough to fail FIA tests. This gave them the better grip in slow corners, which explains why McLaren suddenly became unbeatable on street tracks like Monaco, Baku, and Singapore. It wasn't illegal, but it was clever. Like the double diffuser from Braun GP back in 2009, it used the rules in a new way. And once again, it worked. Their qualifying performance improved, their race pace became even more stable, and other teams were left catching up, again. So now we reach the final and maybe the most important point. Everything we've talked about, the tech, the drivers, the strategy, the clever engineering, sounds great. But what happens when one team does everything right? We've seen it before. In 2023 and 2024, Red Bull dominated almost every race. Fans started to lose interest, excitement dropped, some stopped watching altogether. Now in 2025, it's happening again, but with orange instead of blue. If McLaren stays ahead for the rest of the season and maybe even into 2026, we're back to one team winning everything, and that's not good for the sport. There's also the issue of drivers. Norris and Piastri are locked in with long contracts. That means young talents have fewer places to go. The driver market becomes frozen. And then there's the tech gap. McLaren system tools are expensive. Other teams like Haas, Sauber, and Williams can't follow without serious funding. This creates two levels in F1, the tech rich and the tech poor. So while it's exciting to see a new team on top, it's starting to feel like domination again, just with different faces. So what does all this tell us? McLaren didn't become unstoppable by chance. They built a smarter factory, they fixed their processes, they brought in the right people at the right time. They gave two talented drivers room to grow. They used cutting-edge tools to plan every move, and they found an edge in the F1 regulations that no one else saw in time. But it's not just speed, it's structure, and that structure works. But with every race they dominate, F1 risks becoming predictable again. Exciting competition turns into guaranteed results. Young drivers get stuck waiting, and smaller teams fall even further behind. McLaren are ahead now, but if they stay there too long, F1 could lose what makes it exciting.